Hey guys, and welcome! Yes, we're back doing a cheeky live stream. I'm a Rubber Duck War, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm actually going to be playing as some old school Warhammer 2, coming in with some replays as well as some live battles, maybe get a few of you guys up as well to scrap it out, whilst we do a Q&A for my early access experience on Immortal Empires for Warhammer 3. Also a big announcement about the channel. I'll probably make that after like game 1 or replay 1, just so we can allow people to gather. But I hope you guys are doing good today. What's up, Pooley? Yeah, I don't know why it said pause K there. That was a bit weird on the trailer, just kind of sticking up. But I am playing it from YouTube, so maybe it just got a bit out of whack there. What's up, Samrak as well? Mr. Todd as well. Looks like Human Boy's here. Sebastian, hello, hello. Yeah, get your guys' questions ready. I'm basically going to be answering questions today on just my experience playing the Immortal Empires and how fun it's been. But I won't be doing like individual breakdowns of this, stat has gone up by 0.1% or whatever on a unit, because I don't have the game open. I'm not going to be able to remember that all off the top of my head. Not really allowed to show much Immortal Empires like early access on live streams. I know some people have been able to do like replay live streams and stuff, but I don't know. I want to kind of save those replays predominantly for actual like full-on videos, and I don't want to double cast stuff for you guys. So it's going to be Warhammer 2 today. We'll be discussing about Warhammer 3, and then we'll do a big announcement about the channel just after game 1 here. What do you think the Wood Elves lack to be better in Domination? Don't say a duck unit until we know that's too. Well, yeah, I think a duck unit would be nice. Wood Elves are an interesting one. I think they're fine at Domination. I don't think they're dreadful. I don't think they're amazing. They have too much reliance on physical resistance, I think. And the fact that magic attacks are far more common now is really going to be a big negative to them. And they just don't have the staying power without that physical resistance. I think almost all the demon factions are going to do relatively well up against the Wood Elves because of that. I would say lack of staying power. You have the Treekin, which they can hold objectives well, and Eternal God aren't terrible. But just being very squishy, and you're kind of struggling to kite your opponent, really, because they can hop on the objectives, is why Wood Elves are going to struggle. So I think they need something which has got a little bit of durability, which isn't monstrous infantry. That is what I would say made them a little bit better. But again, in the hands of a really good player, I think Wood Elves are going to be pretty scary. What's up, Carlos? What's up, Dragonborn? How's it going, champs? Yes, Labadamia. I've probably butchered your name there, but hello, welcome. Any word on when you're allowed to stream at Immortal Empires? I actually have no idea. I don't know. People are currently allowed to stream replays. That's the only thing I know, but I don't want to do that because I don't have enough replays to then make videos. And I would rather give you guys full, length kind of proper videos rather than doing it on a stream. What do you think Malekith needs to be on the spotlight for Dark Elves? I mean, Malekith's fine. He's honestly not a bad lord. I think he'd be a little bit more popular now that Marathi's been debuffed slightly. But honestly, Malice is going to take center stage right now. Malice Darkblade's the boy. He does not die. And the reason Malice Darkblade doesn't die, like nowadays, is he's basically the same. So he's feels like the same character, has about the same amount of punch, but now when he goes into Zarkan form, he loses health significantly slower. I think so much that if he's in combat and getting his regeneration up against a weak unit, he will actually be healing rather than losing HP. So he sticks around much longer, and Zarkan's always been very powerful, but the fact that you can now use him for a significantly larger portion of the battle, it's really awesome. How have the Lizardmen changes been? Really good, Source. So, Lizardmen changes, they've not had anything too crazy. The main big boon that I've seen has been Lord Croak. Lord Croak is disgusting now. I think it may be bugged, though. He kind of does these, double explosions. So if they take out the second part, I still think he'd be really good. But the main thing for Lizardmen is just that they've transitioned really well into Domination. They work really well in that game mode. And we already know they're fantastic in land battles, so they kind of have both covered. Interesting to see how they go up against all the demons. I played Indie Pride of Milk and Cookies in 2 games recently. Lizardmen versus Demons. I was Lizardmen both times, trying 2 slightly different strategies, and had a lot of success. You'll be seeing those probably on his channel and my channel relatively soon. Did Skaven get any buffs? I'm sure they had some small changes. Nothing off the top of my head that's drastic, though. Nothing too crazy for them. Do you think they're buffed Bretonia? Bretonia are okay, from what I see. I feel like Bretonia have always been decent. They really just need a DLC. Just get a bit more flexibility and more units, in my opinion. for Brett. Like, they're fine in land battles and domination, just because they got so much, like, solid, fast cavalry. The thing that kind of trips them up in Dom is that men-at-arms are counted as expendable, so their capture weight is, like, absolutely garbage. So you have to play pretty, like, horrible with them if you're going to do well there. As far as land battles, oh my god, they're so good against Nurgle. Bretonia slaps Nurgle cheeks, like, all day, every day. All day, every day. Yeah, Soulsteal is much worse now, Horus Heresy. So if you mean it's been fixed as in it's not as, like, OP as it was, then yes. It is certainly not as good as it once was. You heard Bretonia is very bad right now? I don't know, man. Like, Bretonia have really good matchups with some of the new factions. Bretonia beat Nurgle so easily, so you just get lines of peasant archers, and they kill basically everything for one, and then you just get the magical attack cavalry, and you're good to go. I mean, Alberic's fantastic in that situation as well. If you really want to go bad to the bones, you get, like, Hippogriff Knights with Alberic, and you give them the bonus versus large, and just say bye-bye to Great Unclean Ones. Or, like, they'll take down pretty much anyone. Arazon's better now. So, I'm on an early access build, right? So, stuff's not, like, fully complete yet. I think they tried buffing Razordons, but I think it's either a little bit buggy, or they've overdone it. Because I spoke to Intisti about Razordons, and apparently they free-shot Chosen right now. Because they've got, like, armor piercing, like, armor penetration, sorry. So they go for, like, multiple units now, kind of in the same way Crane Gunners do. But it's turned them into just absolute lethal weapons of war. I'll have to try and get some replays with them and show it to you guys. But I think at the moment, maybe they're a bit too good. But I've not personally tested them. I've been speaking to Intisti about them. Quack, quack! What's up, Panther? How's it going, champ? Hope you're all well. Hope you're all good in the hood. Do you think they buff in a future the speed of the Bretonian cavalry to equal the Empire cavalry with 78 speed? Yeah, it seems a little bit weird that the Empire cav got the speed buff. I'm not 100% sure why they did, to be honest. I thought they were kind of fine as they were. I could certainly see Bretonia's been moved up to match it at some point in the future, but I don't know, I'm afraid. What do you think Empire need to be made more competitive? Probably, honestly, better infantry. If we're talking about domination, in land battles, I think they're absolutely fine and very flexible and competitive. I don't think they're weak by any means. In Dom, I think better holding power. Samurai Warrior! Oh, my favourite. How's it going, champ? I hope you're good. Me and Samurai Warrior got a load of games in early on in Immortal Empires. We need to play some more, man. Maybe later today or something if you're free. Saying it's a bug. Okay, so Razordons are indeed bugged right now. Quack for the Quack Gods. Hello there. What's up, Karok? Yeah, I've not streamed for like a month, pretty much. And before then, I'd only streamed like twice in a month. So it's been a while. It has been a while. With Immortal Empires, do you prefer domination or land battles? Ooh. Ooh, that is a great question. It really depends on my mood. I've been having such a blast. My favourite memories so far of Immortal Empires have been free-for-alls, actually. Free-for-alls and 2v2s have been just so epic on like a large scale, particularly with all the new and old factions clashing. So I did a load of land battles initially. Like, I went hard on the land battles, and then since I've moved back to Domination, done quite a few of those games. So I'm a weird guy. Like, I don't really sit too much on the... A lot of people, like, they either hate Domination and, you know, land battles for the land battle gods and stuff, or they're the other and they're like, no, land battles are for the old, like, Domination's for the future. I just like playing both. And I think they both got pros, both got cons. And yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why having the option to play more game modes is inherently a bad thing to some people. I don't know. Yeah, for sure. Just the unbreakable nature Samurai Warrior, I think they're also the best unit of Emp right now, at least in that game mode. I mean, not in land battles. I think you can just go cheap and cheerful and just use them as shot blockers and stuff. But yeah, Panther, dwarfs are pretty garbage in Domination from what I found. I will make them work though. There will be tactics, don't worry. They're not like unplayable, but they are pretty bad. Why they're not adding the Mistwalkers in multiplayer for High Elves? The Mistwalkers? Am I tripping? Who are the Mistwalkers? Are they like a campaign one? That might be like a campaign unit. Do dwarves require skill now? Dwarves always required skill. I know you're a High Elf main, so you don't want to believe it. Dwarves don't require skill now, they require a miracle. And your opponent to be pretty bad. Realistically. What's up, Knighthood? How's it going, champ? Have you tried the Engine of the Gods? No, because I wanted to, and instead I brought Lord Croak, because he's just better. He's just better than an Engine of the Gods right now. What is the big announcement? I'll make it after we, like, showcase one game, just to let people gather. You like both a lot? Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. It really depends. It really depends on my mood and who I'm up against. So, I love land battles for, like, the thematic theme of them. The large scale you can get, these kind of two beat-up haggard armies at the end just slugging it out in the trenches trying to claim victory. But at the same time, I don't at all like the current Warhammer 3 meta of just box build literally every single game. It is so boring, like, to play. I just don't play it. Also, there's an engine going by, a fire engine going by my house, or an ambulance. Sounds like an ambulance. Apologise about the noise. I do have my window open because it's still pretty hot here in the UK, at least for me in London, because my house is super stuffy. Super stuffy. Would you consider making a guide for Lisbon Domination? I have certainly considered it, Sully. It would be about 3 hours long, probably, so it's a bit daunting, but there is certainly a chance I will, yes. High Elves S+ tier now that dragons have more HP. I still think dragons aren't great, I'm not gonna lie, from my personal experience with them, but they are better, which is good news. They're Elfarian campaign units. Okay. I mean, if they're balanced, yeah, I would like them to chuck them in. Maybe they will in the future. We can give it a little test. Yeah, Sully, if I do one, I'll have, like, probably base builds for, like, every single matchup roughly to go on. Not like full builds, but like, hey, this like 3 cores of your gold should be spent on this core, and from here you should experiment and do your own stuff. Can I showcase a Bretonnian replay? I've already. Do you mean Immortal Empires or just in Warhammer 2? We can do a Warhammer 2 one today. So I'm trying. There's a lot of questions. I'm like miles behind on chat right now, I think. Your theory is to bring Engine with Croak for max wind generation. That'd be pretty cool. For sure. Very expensive, though. Very expensive. Do I think the new Demon factions are a bit overtuned in multiplayer? Yes. I think the Demon factions are all strong. Now, I don't think they're necessarily the best, though. This is the thing. Like, I think there's a couple of Warhammer 2 factions which are better than the Demon factions, but the Demons all do rank very highly. So I think maybe a little bit overtuned, but, you know, just a little bit. There's an emergency! There's always an emergency where I'm nearby. A banana bean. I like your picture, by the way. It's very funny. Yeah, Samurai spam skinks. Here's the guide in Dom. Skinks are phenomenal. Skinks are amazing in Domination. Does Domination have a problem with spamming fast units late game to capture points? I don't know if it's necessarily a problem, Black Phillip. Like, at the end, yeah, you're just trying to get on those objectives as quickly as possible. There's a lot of talk about should units be allowed to come back into the game once they've been killed and back and forth. I think there's a lot of testing to be done there. Domination's really in its, like, baby stages still of being developed, and I just hope they just keep, like, they don't want it to stagnate. They keep experimenting. I think the changes we've had up to now have been really good, and honestly, it's a game mode that I think would suit something like a Total War Warhammer 40k, and I really want that. Why are you casting Warhammer 2? I'm not allowed to live stream, like, Immortal Empire stuff, unless it's replays, and I'm saving those for videos. And, I don't have access to Warhammer 3 right now, because obviously I'm on the beta, so I can't really open that up for you guys, I'm afraid. What do you think Dowie can do to improve Domination? Speed, man. Speed. They need something, like, to move them a little bit. A little bit of speed going. Like, I mean, either that or massive more capture weight, but the problem with the dwarves, I mean, me and Turin and Antisti spoke about this, I think 2 days ago on his channel. We did like a podcast live stream, which was a lot of fun, and the dwarves, it'd be really cool if they had like the Thunder Barge brought in, and it could like pick up a dwarf unit, and then you could redeploy it somewhere else on the battlefield, or miners could dig underground and redeploy in different locations, maybe as a faction ability like once or twice a match. Stuff like that. They need some kind of speed. Now, lore-wise, it's a real struggle. People are like, what about Goat Cavalry? I think that was something that was invented for, like, The Hobbit. And isn't in, like, Dwarvish lore, particularly in, like, Warhammer Dwarvish lore. I don't think there is any access to that kind of stuff. And air units are quite risky, like a Thunder Barge, because it's obvious they're going to bring it, so you know how to counter them and so on. But they need something. They need to go into the deep depths of the lore and figure out how to bring stuff forward. Do they balance the game around Dom? I think they do a bit of both, Caradoc. I don't really know. Like, I'm not obviously like part of Crave Assembly. I think they try to do it relatively around both. There's just some factions, unfortunately, like Cafe and Dwarfs, who will never be amazing in Domination, simply due to their playstyle. Like, it's not in their nature to be good at a game mode like that. But the good news is they'll be great in land battle. And vice versa. There's factions who are great in Dom, but are going to be pretty terrible in land battles. And I don't know, I would honestly like... I would probably want like another game mode brought in soon as well. Maybe not for this game, but for like their next big release. And then have 3 game modes, and then eventually build it up and just keep going. Because I think the variety is better. You saw my tier list stream yesterday? Yes. Dwarfs aren't great in Dom, I'm afraid. I personally think they're better than Cafe, which is a controversial opinion, though. Because I think Dwarfs are just a better Cafe. Like, your infantry is slightly better, your range is slightly better, your artillery is better. You lack cavalry, but Slayers can do a okay job doing that. You probably have slightly worse Lords, but yeah. Yeah. Cool, do you guys want to watch a replay now? You guys want to watch something awesome? So, let's do a little vote. So, we have the Emperor playing as the Empire versus the Beastmen. We have Chase the Cookie up against Stormrunner under the name Lord of Ducks and Memes. Is Dark Elves versus Wood Elves. We have a Greyish Green Bob as Dwarfs versus Stormrunner again as something. Probably Empire by the looks of it. Or we have Mr. Tefel as Greenskins versus Loopy's Dark Elves. And don't worry guys, I will continue to do Q&As and stuff. We'll do a game where you guys build up questions and then in between we can do answers and stuff. But which of these do you bad boys want to see? There needs to be a dwarf unit where they have helicopter backpacks. Yeah, something cool like that, Black Phillip, honestly. Iron Drakes riding on the side of gyrocopters, flamethrower and stuff, like, they can do a lot of awesomeness. Did they buff VP somehow? I don't know if VP are, like, massively buffed in any way. I think they're okay in Domination now. They're, like, slow, so you're like, okay, they can have the same problems as Cafe and Dwarfs. But the fact they're basically unbreakable is really good, and the fact you can have summons in choke points makes them pretty gnarly. Pretty gnarly indeed. Dwarfs have spell resistance, not magic resistance, which has made them significantly weaker. In a certain few matchups, obviously. You'd argue Cafe has much better air than Dwarfs? Long miles are good. They're quite expensive, though. But yeah, no, I'd agree. They probably have better air as well. We've got Dark Elves versus Greenskins. We've got the Loopy game. Okay, so basically one vote for everyone, which is great. Thanks for tuning in, by the way, guys. We have 100 people watching right now, which is pretty cool. Have I tried High Elves and Land Battles? Yes, I have tried High Elves and Land Battles. They perform pretty similar to how High Elves perform now. Like, they're pretty solid, maybe a little over-reliant still on single entities. Cool. Which game was the Loopy one? So that's Greenskins vs Dark Elves, which someone asked for, and then someone asked for the Loopy game. So we'll load in. We'll cast this game, we'll do the big announcement, then we'll take a load more questions, okay? What do I think is the most interesting matchup so far? Load into this. What has been the most interesting matchup I've played so far? Dwarfs v Slaanesh on Land Battles was interesting. It was a weird fight in general. It was very bizarre. Like, chariots were good, like phenomenal as you'd expect, and the cavalry's so fast. Great access to magic to kind of punish the dwarfs, who get punished by that stuff a lot more now. But the dwarf heroes were like gods of war. Like, amongst the Slaanesh. Like, Grombrindle killed my entire opponent's army pretty much, and their blasting charges counter Slaanesh. So there's a load of like extremes in that matchup. Like a load of extremes. Go Loopy, go. I actually don't know the results of these replays. Well, the thing is, Storm, with like gyrocopters and stuff, if you're arguing over who has the better air force, I do agree with you that Cathay have the better air force. But likewise, you can just land the gyrocopters amongst your dwarfs now. You can just land, which is cool. Which is something quite big from Warhammer 3, obviously. Cool, guys. So save up your questions for now. We're going to cast this game. We do have a Loopy on the left-hand side of the Dark Elves and then the Greenskins. And just after this, we'll do another little round of Q&A stuff. All right, let's do this. So for the forces of the mighty Dark Elves of Loopy, a legendary elvish warrior from eons past, we have Dark Riders galore. So 2 Dark Riders on the right-hand side, 1 on the left. We even have some Cold One Dread Knights in the back. These guys have just the most beautiful models. I'm not particularly a big Dark Elf guy. I'm more of a Wood Elf homie myself. They do look pretty badass, the Dread Knights, and though they're no match for the Horned ones, of course, they still look rather impressive. We then got a load of cheap and cheerful Dread Spears in the middle. In the back, we have Witch Elves, and going forward, we have some Black Ark Corsairs. We have a load of Scourge Runner Chariots, which is pretty common in most matchups, to be honest, but against the Greenskins, you really need that counter-push play. And then we have Malekith riding the Black Dread in the skies, his mighty dragon, coming forward with, I'm going to assume, a Gaze of Malice indeed, and of course, Soul Stealer and Blade Wind. I'm quite happy to see less Soul Stealer going forward into Warhammer 3. For the forces of the Green Boys, I get so much bad PTSD when I look at them because I faced so many Greenskins in my time. A lot of Orc Boys, just ready for a good fat juicy scrap in the front. And behind them we have Night Goblins galore, one of which is going to be the Regiment of Renowned, of course. Savage Orc Biggins, we have Savage Orc Boar Boys in the back here, including basic Orc Boys. We've got an Orc Shaman, we have a Giant Roach Hag, so this is quite nasty. We have Spirit Leech coming in, Brainbuster and Gaze of Mork. We've got one cheeky little Doom Diver Catapult! Oh hell yeah! It's so weird seeing units not in like ultra size now. Since the switch over to Warhammer 3, of course, everything has gone up in size. We then have a Night Goblin Warboss, this absolute lad. He's raring to go, coming in with a little bit of fermented fungi, as well as DeBoss Loons, Tormentor Sword, Get Back Here, a load of juiciness, and lurking in the trees, I think we've got some sneaky stabbings going on in the form of Goblin Wolf Riders, as well as Forest Goblins. Without further ado, let's get this scrap underway. Who's your money on? Let me know down below. The Loopy Dark Elves or Mr. Tefel's Greenskins. Both very talented tournament players, so I'm expecting a lot of good stuff here. Expecting for some good stuff. It's also good to know, by the way, that Fanatics have been nerfed in Immortal Empires, which is exciting. So they're just a bit worse when you aim them now. I still think they're very good. Like, they're not garbage, but they have been a little bit nerfed. So it looks like early Spirit Leech is going to go down on the Scourge Runners. They've also been slowed, and they don't seem to give a damn, really. Comfortably pulling through the Orc Boys still. Going to retreat back. They are now taking significant damage. Giant Roach Hag has managed to get in there. And in goes the little Goblin Big Boss. A Tormentor Sword is going to pin all these chariots in place, as well as Malekith, who wanted to go for a hit and run. This is a disaster for Loopy out the gates here. The cavalry can instantly float over and start doing some big damage to them. And yeah, Malekith is getting opened up so badly here. This is really nasty stuff, my god. Malekith, you need to run, buddy. He's taken so much damage. Elsewhere in the battle, the Scourge Runner chariots have fallen back. The rest of the Dark Elf infantry is attempting to catch up, but look how far behind the rest of the army is. Those Goblin Wolf Riders have slinked out from the trees. Going to start peppering down Malekith from afar, who has been hit by fermented fungi, nuking his stats, and also making him a nice sit-in duckling. Giant Hag is quite comfortably taking the shots. It looks like Spirit Leech is going to go down on him as well. Surely there's no way Malekith gets out of this. I mean, the Savage Orc boys are going to start surrounding him. This is a sight we've seen too many times in my lifetime. The dragons getting pinned in place and slaughtered, though Malekith is just about pulling through. He once again has been slown. He's just about to break. Scourge Runner chariots are doing a decent job, though, messing up the front line of the Greenskins. Likewise, the back line's in a bit of disarray here. A big push from Dark Riders, Scourge Runners, and Corsairs have done a decent work on this far side. Malekith is still alive. This Doom Diver Catapult might want to add some shots here, and somehow the slippery devil is able to slink away. One brave Savage Orc attempts to pin him in place. Looks like Malekith is, however, going to get back up into the skies. That is brutal stuff for the Greenskins, because now he can do his breath attacks down on the enemy generals. Perhaps get in here with some cycle charging. Cold One Dread Knights should be more than enough to support him. Lovely twirly whirlies of death, though. Look at those bad boys swirl and dance. I love Fanatics. They're such a fun unit, and they really roasted some of the Cold One Dread Knights there. And all of a sudden, it is now the little Goblin Big Boss who is isolated and alone rather than Malekith. We kind of focus on that duel in the middle, but elsewhere, the Dark Elves are butchering the Greenskins in their dozens. Dark Riders are forcing their way into the back line. Looks like the catapult's going to be going down here. Forest Goblins likewise are being forced off and dealt with. Scourge on a chariot running them over in the back lines. We do have Witch Elves bomb rushing forward, trying to get to grips with that Orc Shaman, who's running for his life. Now, most of us, when we see a load of naked ladies with daggers, we run towards them, not away from them. But this Orc Shaman is bolder and braver than all of us. Big shot does go down though, Gaze and Mork into the rear end of Malekith, who has been fermented fungied. Probably not in the right way though. The Goblin boss brought the dragon to him, and he gets absolutely spanked here. Malekith is back at it, baby. I think he's dropped a couple of Soul Stealers. You can see his healing cap is there now, keeping him nice and alive. The Night Goblins, unfortunately, the AP Gloons here are going to receive a nasty Gaze of Malice. Oh, the bloodshed. A cloud of blood replaced where the Goblins once stood, and they're going to be pretty useless from now on, being very beat up. We have the Blackheart Corsairs going to continue to shoot into Savage Orc Biggins, a pretty solid option in my opinion there. Dark Riders are finishing up some more of the greenies in the back. There's still a load of infantry though. We've got Orc Boys, Savage Orc Biggins. They need to reconvene back into the middle, because where they are right now isn't going to do them too much good. Scourge on a Chariots are picking apart key units. Another big shot comes in, clips the underbelly of Malekith's dragon down to 1,200 HP. Looks like the Night Goblin Warboss has also returned to the action. Nice skirmish play coming in with the Wolf Riders picking apart the Dark Riders and allowing their Liege Lord back into the action. But the Greenskins have been split in two. You can see some of their forces hiding and rallying in the trees, having lost that initial fight. But Malekith is really chucking his body around now that there's not so much to punish him. Up to 91 kills, certainly not too shabby. Needs to be careful though. I mean, Savage Orc Biggins will still drag him down. They're going to be pretty good against the majority of what is left here in the Dark Elf kind of a vanguard force. Squadron of Chariots are also in combat where they really don't want to be. Savage Orcs will beat them up. Now Malekith is doing cycle charging, attempting to take away the leadership core of the Green Boys. The Orc Shaman is terrified and routing, but you know who's not terrified? The Night Goblin Warboss. He has returned for vengeance and justice, challenging Malekith to one-on-one combat, and Malekith laughs and instead sends his cavalry after him to finish off the little goblin. He's simply not worth his time. He's got bigger fish to fry. Looks like we do have a get back here on the Night Goblin Warboss, as he is panicking and screaming as he runs away from a load of Dark Riders. Scourge on a Chariot's going to be running over the Savage Orcs and Orc Boys. And yeah, that Orc Shaman's probably not getting out of here. We do have a Fermented Fungi, but it's not going to rampage Malekith. He's not dropped down below another HP threshold. In fact, I don't think he has another one. And it looks like the Orc Shaman will indeed be getting forced off here. And surely there's no way back in this for the Greenskins. I don't know why the band's power is so even. Let's have a little take of units. We have Wolf Riders, we have Orc Boys, we've got a couple of Skirmish Cav units. Yeah, this is over for sure. I don't know why Banspar is tripping balls like this, but I feel like the Dark Elves are unstoppable right now. Particularly with Malekith still alive and kicking like this, it looks like the Orc Boys are getting chased off by Witch Elves as well as Cold One Dread Knights. And the Orc Shaman somehow got back into the fight. He's like, oh god, yes! He got one big shot off into Malekith as he charged him, down to 860 HP, but alas, these boys could have helped. The Orc Boys abandon their Shaman, they abandon their pride, they abandon Gork and Mork, and they flee for the trees. Malekith is comfortably going to finish off this bad boy now. There's a decent amount of skirmish cav left. I guess we have Orc Boys dotted around the battlefield. The Shaman as well, a couple of Spirit Leeches of Malekith may be enough to finish him off, but I really do think this one is all over right now. I'm going to do a cheeky bit of fast forward as we just try to encapsulate what's going on here. It's just the Greenskins kind of getting picked apart, I'm afraid, by a mixture of handbows and cavalry, and that was a pretty awesome game, not going to lie. Not gonna lie, very well played to Loopy, and I believe it was Mr. Tefel. Yeah, it was. Mr. Tefel was his rival there. That was some dope stuff. I mean, the Malekith Leroy Jenkins approach early on, maybe not the greatest play of all time, but it low-key, like, won him the battle. That's what makes it so dumb, is Malekith jumped in, completely forgetting that there's a bucket ton of slows and rampages and stuff, and he nearly died. If he had gone down there, the game would have been over, but the fact he was able to retreat, get back up into the air, use his breath attacks, use his cycle charging in the late game, it forced the Greenskins to chuck so much resources at him, and when they invest that much and don't kill him, the rest of their army just crumbles and falls apart. So, a masterclass in a way of the Distraction Carnifex. Very risky play, but it did actually pay off, which is rather hilarious. The rest of the build did not do very well damage value-wise. 1,000 unit on this unit of Dark Riders is a standout. My god, yeah, nothing did that great. 1.3k on the Cold One Dread Knights. It really was a Malekith Dread Knight kind of a love affair, with a few of the other units performing okay to decent. As for Mr. Tefel, you've got to tip your hat to him, and just respect the Night Goblin Warboss pick, because he is such a crazy, mad, beautiful lad. 1.3, just underneath 1.4k value on him, not too bad. 1.5k, Geometral Hag, 900 Orc Shaman, attempting their best to drag down the enemy, but alas, it was not quite enough there. Yeah, and then the infantry kind of just got absolutely tear-outed off. Keeping Malekith alive, I think, was massive. Massive, massive, massive. Terra is a big game. Terra is huge. I wonder why CA changed being able to see the player names. I don't know. I don't know. I wish it came back. That and the chat box. They're kind of smaller things, but yeah. Is it replays, casting, or live games? Bit of both. Bit of both. And your heart says Druchi, your head said Greenskins. Man, always follow your heart, man. Always follow your heart. Yeah, what we'll do then is we'll open up a lobby in a sec, and if two of you guys want to pop in and do some games, we will. Before then, we'll do another round of Q&As. So if you guys have any questions about my time playing Immortal Empires, the early access, let me know. What's up, Balsay? How's it going, champ? I'm all good, man. How are you? Balsay's a really lovely dude. We've played a few times. Yes, we've got quite a big announcement as well to do. I'll do one more round of Q&As, then we'll do the announcement. It's both a good and bad announcement. Leave it a bit foreboding, but yeah. Dwarf's Empire is a very fun game. Oh, we have a replay, do we? This one, the greyish-green Bob. Okay, maybe we'll showcase this one as well. Yeah, I'll do the announcement in a second. We'll just do a cheeky round of Q&A quickly. So if you guys have any questions about, like, my time in Mortal Empires, I can happily go through them. Doing better now than your live, thanks, dude. I haven't been alive for ages. It's been like a month since my last live stream. For a few reasons. I'll get into that in a little bit. But also, before then, I hadn't streamed, like, a super amount. Can I ask you to play Bretonia? We can try and get someone in to play Bretonia for sure. We'll open a lobby actually now, so people can design builds and stuff. We will call it the Quack Attack. Password is going to be 123, guys. We're going to do a 1v1. Feel free to join. What lords do you want to see buffed the most? Ooh, that's a really good question, man. What lords have I been like disappointed with, I guess? And that I want to see get buffed the most. That's a tough one, man. That is tough. I've kind of enjoyed most of the lords that I've played with so far. Maybe... No, I think they're fine, as I was about to say. Maybe some of the Skaven lords. Let me quickly have a look. Oh, I can't even see the factions on here to go through it. I need to like try and picture them all in my mind and see which lords I've played so far that I've been like, I think you've been okay, but not great. Like, I've played a lot of Krotgar, believe it or not, and I was kind of... Krotgar's like my favourite lord, so I really want him to be good, and I think he's actually very nice now. Maybe Gorok, I would like to see improved a little bit. I'd like to see Gorok. Maybe Tic-Tac-Toe. At least from, like, a Lizardmen perspective. And then... Oh, this is such a tough question. Alafanar, probably. Yeah, I'd like to see Alafanar get improved. Like, a significant chunk. Probably Alafanar, and then give something to make Boris a little bit more unique and different. Is what I would say. So that was like a real long way to make that. What's up, Grey Book of Grudges? Can you do a Skaven Law of Stealth with Veil of Shadows, Black Storm, and with Death Runner Core? Yeah, oh, you certainly can. Yeah, oh, do you mean in this? Yeah, I'm not playing today. I'm going to be doing replays. I might play one at the end or something. We're going to stream to just before 5, because the Lionesses are playing in the Euro finals, so like football finals, basically, for those who don't follow that kind of thing. And England are in the finals, so I'm going to go watch that at 5. What I think about Tomb Kings in Domination, asks Samrek. Incredibly good. Very powerful. Not the best faction in the game, or anything like that, don't get me wrong. Oh, Loopy, we literally just showed a replay of you playing. with a Malekith Leroy Jenkins approach. It's really awesome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Tomb Kings, I think on a tier list system, I put them in at a solid A, is what I went for. Like a really solid A. The fact they're basically unbreakable, their faction ability is being buffed as well. They heal like a lot more now. They've got great long-range tools, but also fantastic cheap staying power, which isn't necessarily expendable on all their stuff. Tomb Kings are going to be great in Domination, and even more so, I think they're going to be good for new players to get in on. Which lords should be nerfed? I was going to say Sigvald, but he doesn't have speed on his side and stuff. I don't think he's as big a problem in Dom as he was in Van battles. Which lords would I like to see get nerfed? Honestly, I'm struggling to think. Oh, maybe Kugarth. Probably Kugarth a little bit. Like, not hugely nerfed, because he was so terrible before. But I would like to see Kugarth get a little bit of a debuff, I think. Like, off the top of my dome. Volkmar as well. I guess he's fine. He's really good against some factions. I've always thought Volkmar's been a little bit OP. I know lots of people disagree because there's bad melee attack and defense stats, though I think there's plenty of ways around them. Maybe see Volkmar a tiny bit nerfed as well. Any Dwarf Lord that needs to get nerfed or made stronger? No, I think they're fine. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing like Ungrim probably getting an upgrade a little bit. Just to make him like competitive, because he's really awesome. Was your time with early access pure multiplayer or having both? I've been doing just multiplayer. Yes. Just all the glorious multiplayer stuff. So, I know a little bit about campaign that I can guess like talk to you guys about, but I don't know as much as the multiplayer, of course. Yeah, Gorok and Queek aren't great. Yeah. I would like to see them get a little bit of a buff. Nerf Sigvald by shaving his head? Oh, for sure. Enric's actually pretty good in certain matchups. Him against Tzeentch is hilarious. Like, High Elves versus Tzeentch is hilarious. It's unwinnable for Tzeentch. I could teach, like, my pet dog, like, how to beat, like, I don't know, Falcon. Maybe it's not as bad as I think, but like, from the few games I've done of that matchup, it is disastrous. Yeah, it's England v Germany at the final. So guys, before these guys start, because it looks like they're getting ready, I will do the cheeky announcement. Now, it is both good and bad announcement at the same time. Have no fear, I will still be doing content and that kind of stuff. I'm not, like, quitting my YouTube channel or anything along those lines. But I'll give you guys a little bit of a breakdown of, like, what my situation's been like recently. Just before loading in. So if you guys are listening, people playing, we're loading in just 2 seconds. But basically, for those of you who have been, like, following my channel for a long time, I've basically been working part-time so I can make all this YouTube content, with the idea that eventually I'd be able to go over full-time into YouTube. But realistically, like, the last few months before I had Immortal Empire's early access were, like, really bad for the channel. Like, it was so bad that I was heavily contemplating, like, just quitting YouTube, like, very strongly. And I nearly did, and then I got the Immortal Empire's early access, and it's kind of rekindled my love of playing. I feel like everyone felt like this a little bit during Warhammer 3, because there wasn't that many factions, so after the initial hype, there was like a big lull. And I kind of came to realization, I don't think it's very realistic that I will ever be able to do the current content I do on YouTube, like, full-time. There's too much competition, I got in way too late, like, people like, you know, like Tyrion and Milk and Cookies starting, like, you know, way back when in, like, Total Warhammer 1, there's still a market for it, and I know, like, a lot of people love my work and stuff, but there's just not enough people almost to go around, so I don't feel like I'm ever going to be able to do this full-time in the position I'm in. So, for that, and, like, also, because I was doing it working part-time, I couldn't really switch up my content at all. Like, I could try a video now and again, but because I was relying on some YouTube money to, like, pay rent and stuff, I had to keep doing the exact same content over and over again just to guarantee that I could, like, pay rent and stuff, and I didn't want to do that. I was very unhappy with it, so I was like, okay, I'm going to quit. But, since, as I said, I got Immortal Empires, being quite rejuvenated, and done, like, a bucket ton of videos. Another problem I had was just as Warhammer 3 came out. I had to have surgery, and I wasn't able to sit down, so I was having to stream whilst kneeling, and it was like so painful, like I've messed up my knees and stuff, so I basically just stopped streaming because of that reason. So it was all looking pretty bad. So I started like looking for like full-time work basically, and I have now got a new job, which is very exciting. So I am going to be starting a new job. It's very cool and very exciting. So I've left my old part-time job, which I will miss the people, but I didn't enjoy the job that much. So again, that wasn't helping. So I'm like, cool, I found a new job. It is going to be a full-time job. It's 45 hours a week, which does mean I will not be able to produce as much content as I currently do. I will still be keeping the YouTube channel going, don't you worry, but I won't be able to do 7 videos a week plus live streams or anything like that. So I will be cutting down probably to like 5 to 4 videos a week to start with, and seeing how manageable that is, because I'll only be able to make videos and stuff on the weekends. That's going to basically be my free time. Apart from that, I'm like 9 to 6, Monday to Friday. It's going to be pretty tough to like, you know, actually manage to do that. So that's my plan, is I'm going to attempt to keep YouTube going, but I wanted to give you guys a big warning. There will be less content, but there's a big plus for this. 2 big pluses. One, I'm going to be able to do much more variety of content, like much more cool stuff, because there's no pressure. Like at the moment, there was a lot of pressure on, hey, I have to get a certain amount of views on my videos to pay my rent. Now, there's no pressure like that. This full-time job will cover all my expenses and stuff. So if I want to do something different for a week, I can do. If I want to do a big guide, which is going to take me like 5 days to do, like some more Lizardmen guides, I really enjoyed them. If I want to make one of those, I now can. So I'm not in a rush to have to get content out every single day. So that's good news of it. Also good news, the job is going to be doing content creation and streaming for a video game publisher, which is very cool. It's not Creative Assembly, I'm afraid. So it's not Warhammer content, it's very different stuff. But I am making more videos. I'm going to be streaming like every week, every day as my full-time job. It's really cool. It's very different content from what I'm used to, but I'm going to learn a load of new skills. They have like top-notch like editing software and like a load of crazy stuff. So I'm going to be getting better at that, and then hopefully I can bring those skills back to this channel and make better content for you guys. So as a whole, I'm not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. There will be less content, but there will be better quality content. That is my plan, pretty much. I hope you guys appreciate that, and aren't like too upset that there won't be necessarily a video every day. But that's my plan. Yeah. Cool. Cool. So enough me rambling. I wanted to do it in a live stream just so I can like speak to you guys about it. If you have like questions and that kind of stuff. But yeah, that's it. That's the big announcement. Yes, thank you guys for the heartwarming comments. I see a load of congratulations. I'm really excited. I'm very nervous. I start on Tuesday, so I'm incredibly nervous. But it's gonna be fun. So I don't know if I want to say what the studio is yet. And the reason I don't know if I want to say what the studio is, I would love to have you guys in a live stream over there supporting me. I need to speak to them about it first, because I don't know how good it will be for them if the games they publish, you know, get people come up and say like, oh, Duck, you should play Total War, and keep mentioning Total War because it's not Creative Assembly. So I don't know if it's a good idea to bring my fan base over to there as well. I will ask them about it. I will ask them about it and see, for sure. But it's not, basically the company publishes games, normally for games which got, like, quite niche games, or like they were like, the best way of putting them, not like global, like, huge games, but if there was a game that was big in a country but never came to the UK or Europe marketplace, they will bring those games and then re-release them, and I'll be making videos on those games. But they're also developing their own games now. They've made a few before, but then working on like a load of them. I don't want to say anything, so I don't know what I'm allowed to say. And I'm going to be making videos for those games. I'm going to be playtesting games. I did speak to them about maybe getting to write a game at some point, or maybe writing some lore for a game and stuff, and they said it's a big possibility. So, you know, it's possible. Yes. So it's going to go good. I'm not pregnant, I'm afraid. Banana bean, I'm afraid. So, yeah. Thank you, Daryl. Thank you so much, man. He comes over, watch your videos. For you, not Warhammer Total War, you always mention the people you play with, and the humility and appreciation is refreshing. Watch any game you play, keep up the work that you can. Thank you so much, dude. And you don't worry, guys, I still will be making videos and stuff. The channel's not going away. It's just that it's going to be less content than there currently is. And maybe if I get, for example, if we go to the point we had in Warhammer 3, where it was real stagnant and we were waiting for a load of stuff, I would still drop a couple of Warhammer videos a week, but I'd also maybe play other games and stuff, because there's just a lot less pressure to, like, every video has to succeed to a certain degree. I'm streaming games and stuff, sorry Harmon. Yeah, no, I'm streaming game stuff. I'm not becoming a stripper. I just don't know if I want to name the company yet. But yeah, I'm streaming for a video game, like, publisher. Hey Ducky, I need to go for like 30 minutes. Congratulations on the new job, and write to me when you can play later. Will do, Samurai. I'm going to watch the football first. That starts at 5 PM. We're going for a couple of hours, and I'll probably eat dinner, and I'll come play. Yes, yes. Cool, let's delve into this game. Apologies, guys. I've been like ranting for a while. Now, save your questions as well. We'll do some more Q&As just after this. Let's check out these builds. So we do have the Dwarfs Require No Skill, which I believe is the Phoenix King. A stern dwarf main. He has so much natural talent, though he claims they need no skill. He's going against his own wishes here and actually playing the High Elves, which is a big change for Phoenix King. I don't know if I've ever seen him actually play High Elves. Almost every game is dwarf-focused. We have a load of archers in the middle, Lothran Seaguard on the flanks, and gatekeepers in the back. Hello? I don't remember... Did I take off unit caps? Oh dear god, okay, we have gatekeepers in the back. Great Eagle up in the skies, Archmage of Metal coming in with Searing Doom and Plague of Rust. So spears and archers galore, pretty basic stuff, very good build. For the forces of Bretonia, we have the Defenders of Fleur de Lis on the right hand side. We do have King Leon Leoncoeur up in the skies. Load of men-at-arms in the front who are currently getting butchered. Oh my god, it's like Foot Tonia. We've got Foot Squires, Troll Peasant Bowmen. It's going to be tough to protect them. I mean, the archers are just going to counter-shoot them, you would think. We've got a big force in the trees, though. Questing Knights, triple Questing Knights, one of which is the Companions, as well as a Damsel of Life. Where's the Lord? Am I just blind? Oh, over here it is. Of course, I think I mentioned him earlier. It's the King. So it's the King up in the skies, who has gone Leroy Jenkins style in here. So he's received the Plague of Rust, is getting annihilated by archers. It looks like the defenders are going to be pushing in the back, but they're pushing it into spears. And a defensive dwarvish almost box has formed by the High Elf main here, or High Elf player, sorry. The dwarf main, I should say. And it looks like the King is still getting Plague of Rusted, but is actually fighting back relatively comfortably against the flies in the skies. Lovely Searing Doom comes down, catches the enemy. Now, men-at-arms are starting to get saturated on by the Foot Squires, who are carving a bloody path through the spearmen, coated in glorious ketchup right now. But the archer pressure is really kind of breaking the backbones of this Bretonia build. Their archers have been shut down, their front line has crumpled in the middle, but now come the Questing Knights. This is interesting. The archers have been shut down now on all fronts. Load of knights are pushing through. Beautiful micromanagement here by the Sushi Canvas. And it looks like the Lord has survived. The King took a bit of a punishment. Regrowth is coming on, and he needs to shut down this back line as swiftly as possible. Looks like archer pressure is coming in. Good pickup there. Searing Doom's going to come down, clattering into Foot Squires and men-at-arms alike. Quest Knights continue to push into the enemy. Lots of overriding of the enemy archer corps now, and it looks like for the most part, the Elvish range has been shut down or at least distracted, and that's allowing the King just to bully this Archmage in the skies. Give me your lunch money, and give him a little bit of a wedgie. Archmage has been forced back. Great Eagle is also dying, and the Questing Knights are just bomb rushing on top of all the archers. There's a load of spears left, though, including Silvern Guard, so it's not out of it yet. Foot Squires, though, going to do devastating work here. Looks like the left-hand side of archers has once again been unleashed upon the enemy. The knights have been forced back. Looks like we have more Quest Knights starting to shut them down, however, and the King is struggling. He's gone Overcast Plague of Rust on him, which isn't really affecting him at all. But the Armor of Stars is going to allow the Archmage to sneak back into the fight, and that is a big, big boon for the High Elves, who I think are rallying quite nicely here. We're about to see a very powerful Seer and Doom go down on the Foot Squires and the Spearmen, and that's pretty gnarly stuff indeed. It looks like the Silver Guard are just about going to be able to beat this front line here. The King's healthy, but he can't be everywhere at once, which is a big problem for him. Foot Squires are pushing the enemy back line. Looks like a Plague of Rust goes down on some of the Knights, and then we get some lovely focus fire here coming in by the Phoenix King on top of the Questing Knights, and they are going to take... oh my god, it's just look at the amount of glorious horses that have fallen onto the ground. It is not a good day to be them whatsoever, though we are going to get a big Earthblood go down. I don't know who Sushi Canvas is. This must be a player playing in disguise. I swear I would have heard of them by now, but maybe it's a new player. I haven't done much Warhammer 2 content in a while. Defenders get a nice charge on the Lothran Sea Guard. We get a Seer and Doom go down on the peasants. Oh no! It's a bad day to be a peasant, but it's a really bad day to be a peasant when there's a magical bombardment overhead. Looks like the Eagle has split up from the Archmage, who is continuously outstripping and speeding King Leon Gur, and it looks like the Arm of the Stars is keeping them alive. I think the King's gonna have to make the Archmage come to him by taking out the enemy infantry, but there's so many spear units left alive. It's going to have to be some real hammer and anvil stuff here from the Cav, I think, alongside the King, to break up the Sea Guard, because you can't allow these units to shoot. There is also a nice little bit of gap here, a little bit of leeway currently between the spear units and the back line. There's a good time for the spears to strike alongside the King and leave the spearmen kind of isolated. Lovely Earthblood goes down as well on the cavalry. Great Eagle has been allowed to be caught, but this is a trap right now. We do get a Plague of Rust go down, and the archers are going to open fire up upon the King. However, there's not enough winds and magic to make this overcast, so it's not as devastating as it once was, and it's going to allow that Great Eagle to go down. Seer and Doom, alas, misses for the most part, and it looks like Lothran Sea Guard are now being shut down. This is a crazy close game, guys. This has been wild stuff so far. Some bowmen are fleeing Silver and Guard. That is a great play for Bretonia, just value-wise. They do have some more archers who need to come back, though. These archers have to be shooting into the Sea Guard right now. Otherwise, the Quest Knights will indeed go down. Now, they're putting up a hell of a fight. Men-at-Arms do get jumped by the Archmage, which is really good micromanagement there by the Phoenix King. And it looks like the companions can indeed pull back now a little bit, rotate round and hit this side of the formation where the archers are. Peasant archers will be moving up to engage the enemy. Foot Squires and Men-at-Arms are also going to start pushing into the Lothran Sea Guard. And I don't know. I don't know who's going to win this. There's so many spears around. I feel like the High Elves are in a state of advantage. But if the Archmage dies, the terror on the King is going to be a nightmare. An absolute nightmare to deal with. And the Archmage does indeed break. We do get another Earthblood. It's a little too late, though, for one of the units to survive. In fact, it looks like it didn't really catch many of the units at all here. The companions will be doing a lovely charge once again into the Lothran Sea Guard. The damsel's having to get down and dirty. She doesn't bring dwellers below, which is really sad. That doesn't so much work here. We do get a big push, though. Men-at-Arms and Foot Squires are starting to harass the back line of the Elvish forces. Archmage probably will come back. Currently 0 leadership. I'm expecting a return, though I don't know if they'll make it all the way back to the battle. And Bretonia are grinding. They are grinding. Peasant bowmen are shooting to the flank of the gate guard here. Should be enough to drag them low, you would think. The King might just be too powerful. Now, saying that, the cavalry's getting really beat up. There's still a big pocket of Silver and Guard. These are no basic spearmen. They're pretty damn elite. However, tear-outs could be pretty bad in the very late game. And in the distance, the Archmage, look how close she was to the edge, does come back. If she gets close to the King, she's going to die. So I would fall, I was about to say land and fall into the trees, but she can't land in this game. But fall back just into the distance. Don't get involved in the fight unless you got Winds of Magic and the King can't fly because the rest of his army is dead. The Peasant Bowmen are opening up fire. Men-at-Arms are pushing aggressively right now. The King has so much work to do. But it's definitely not out of it yet. Does this give... No, it doesn't. It's just better melee defense. Okay. I've seen if there's any, like, immune psychology potentials here, but I don't think we have any, I'm afraid. Damsel does go down. The balance fight is in favor of the High Elves slightly now, though, and I can certainly see why. The King is breaking off units, and allowing the Men-at-Arms to engage Silver Guard's not good news. Although I guess it's better than having them engaged at the Lothran Sea Guard. But now they've been pinned in place, the King has to charge in here. He has to commit and try to finish them off. Damsel will most likely rally and come in with some big heals. Looks like he's ignoring the big blob for now and trying to take out these units on the side, which isn't a bad play, but I think he should probably fight the big blob whilst he has the infantry support, because once he doesn't have that support, it's going to be nigh on impossible. But getting rid of the enemy archers, of course, isn't a bad play whatsoever either. Looks like the High Elves may just pull this one out. Their lord is still alive, lurking and hiding right now with the armor of the stars, trying to hide behind a tree. Kind of like a 3-year-old playing hide and seek, and it's like, I can't see you, you can't see me. Damsel has returned. Alas, Earthbloods and Regrowths are going to be useless. I would have loved the Dwellers below here. It would have done so much work. And it looks like Bretonnians are going to continue pestering and shooting in to the Gatekeepers. But it looks like all of the infantry has now shattered. So the Damsel as well as King Leon Kerr are going to have to commit to a fight eventually. And I don't know if it's going to go super well for them. I don't know if it's going to go super well. Damsel's chasing off a unit of Lothran Seaguard. The king probably just wants to wait for Plague Rust to go, I guess, and then jump the Silver Guard and stuff, but he has to fight. He has to pray for a terror out. Archmage may come over to snipe the Damsel. Bold play, though, because you have 320 HP. One lucky hit, and the mage is down. In fact, the mage breaks. Looks like the king is going to turn and engage. He was going to float over and attack the Archmage, but he decides to stand and fight rather bravely. All the infantry is shattered apart from one unit of Foot Squires who is not coming back anytime soon. Lothran Seaguard are going to pepper from afar, and the leadership of the Silver Guard seems stable to me. It seems pretty stable. Archmage has also rallied in the distance. Can the king do it? I mean, he's certainly bathing in the blood of the elvish kind right now. Damsel, alas, is not actually killed here, so she's going to go after the Lothran Seaguard. I think that's a good pick. The king is at his healing cap, 1,400 HP, just getting poked down. The Damsels are attempting to rear attack these units, trying to get their leadership down a little bit, so perhaps they'll terror out. If one unit routes, the others may follow. You can certainly get a big chain route. It looks like Silver Guard are currently terrified. The other units are standing firm, but this unit on the left-hand side's leadership is dropping rapidly here, and the king may be able to do this. Maybe. It looks like Silver Guard are wavering all over the place. 1 unit, 2 units. Can we get a third break? We do, but it is the king who breaks, and it looks like the forces of the High Elves shall be victorious. Oh my god. What a game. What a game. Very well played here to the mighty, I've completely forgotten his name because he's changed it up here. The Phoenix King. Impressed to see the Dowie main switched up and kind of coming with the High Elves like this. 1.4k value on the Archmage, 1k on the Great Eagle. It was all about pointy sticks and spears today though. 1k value, 1.4k value on the Silver Guard. Silver Guard did really good. Archers did okay. Nothing too crazy. Lothran Seaguard, 1.2k value, 1.7k, 1.4 on the 1k on the Gate Guard. Well, out there. Gnarly stuff. 2.7 on Sushi's Lord. I think he did a brilliant job with King Leon for the most part of the battle. And it could have gone one way or the other at the end there. If there was a big tear out, Bretonnia would probably come back and win it because you just chase off 2 units, one with the Damsel, one with the Lord. But considering the builds, like, I'm surprised the Bretonnians did so good. 1k, 1.1k, 1k on the Knights. And that's not saying this build's bad. It's just there's so many spears and stuff to deal with against a relatively cav-focused build. And I think Sushi played really well. So did Phoenix King. What a game. What a game. That was awesome stuff. That was an amazing game. That was really beautiful stuff. Completely forgot the gate card existed, yeah. Man, that was close. Got some boos from Harmon, the Bretonnian fan. No, Tyrion doesn't have fire damage. I don't know why. Oh, Sir Torquin, were you Sushi Canvas? Very well played, dude. You played like a beast. You played like an absolute beast. What is your favorite race in Warhammer Fantasy? The Lizardmen is my favorite race. I like the Dwarfs lore-wise quite a bit as well. We can get another game going between these two guys if they want to play again. Well, I don't have a chat box, I've just realized, so I can't message them. If you guys are listening still, I would like to play again, because that game was so awesome. I'll select a map. Just mix up the factions, basically. Just don't play the same factions. Boo, 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 boo. You know what? We're going to do like my favorite map from Warhammer 2, because I don't get to do it anymore. River of Maxon, which I believe is in Warhammer 3 now. I think it is. I don't know if it's changed, because some have changed. Sorry, Savage, yeah, I'm playing Warhammer 2 today. We're doing Q&As on Warhammer 3. And then I had a big announcement. You can go back and listen to it if you want. But basically, there's going to be slightly less content going forward on the channel. And maybe there'll be a lot less live streams, I'm afraid. I still will do live streams. They'll probably be like once every 2 weeks or so, realistically. Because good news is I got a new job, though. So I've got a new job. Going to be working kind of like Monday to Fridays rather than part-time, which I'm currently doing. So I'll just have less time to make content. But the good news is the quality is going to go up, because the job I've got is literally doing content creation, like creating videos, editing videos, live streaming and stuff, for a video game publisher, which is really exciting. It's a UK-based one, and I will possibly just let you guys know that it is like next week or something, because I need to ask them first if it's okay to kind of advertise on my YouTube channel their stuff. Just because if a load of guys pop up saying like, hey, it's this guy from Total War, and keep mentioning Total War, they might not be the biggest fans of it, because it'll be it's not really a competitive game, because they do completely different games. It's not even like RTS focused or stuff. But it might just like look bad, so I don't know yet. Yeah, so the good news is the quality should be going up of my content, but there'll just be a little bit less of it. You're logged in the wrong account. No worries, man. Sushi Canvas is an awesome name, so. Yeah, he does currently have Martial Prowess and Mastery, so he is an absolute, like, Lord of War right now. Yeah, some traits have been, like, changed and mixed up for sure. Yeah, like the Aztec, like, lizard, like, Lovecraftian vibe of these, like, alien creatures that we can never fully understand, but they have this, like, greater goal and stuff. It's really cool. It looks like we are going to get dwarfs, so Phoenix King is falling back to his main faction, and he's going dwarfs against Beastmen. Traditionally quite good in Beastmen's favour, I'd say. Oh, just having a sip of my drink. And let's load in. If you guys got any more questions about Immortal Empires, keep them coming. I won't answer questions of like, has this unit's stats been changed by, you know, like 2.3%, like we think, or something? Because I don't have the game open, so I can't do that stuff. But if you want to ask me any questions about how I found Immortal Empires in different ways, so yeah, keep the questions popping. I'll try and keep up with them. We've got quite a few people in chat today. It's like over 100, so I will miss some questions. Obviously, we're casting games at the same time. Are we doing replays too? Yes, Loopy, we cast one of your replays today already. It was you, I believe it was you. Unless I've gone crazy. Just before you joined the stream, Loopy, we showed Dark Elves where Malekith went for like the most Leroy Jenkins, I'm gonna charge into the middle of this greenskin army, because that means I'm not surrounded, I can simply attack in any direction, and the greenskin army kind of fell apart. It kind of fell apart. We've got about an hour, probably about 45 minutes left of the stream. Because then I'm going to go watch the Lionesses, the women's national team for England. Going to be taking on Germany in the Euros final, which is really cool. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I know a lot less about it, obviously, than I do like the men's football, I suppose, just from like exposure. But from what I've seen, it's been real top-notch. And there's like one or two players now that I like follow, and I'm like, ooh, I'm like cult following like these one or two players and want to see them do well every game. I actually really like the Swedish national team, but we had to face them in the semis. Yeah, it was a great game. Yeah, Loopy, send one in, man. Send one in. For Domination, do you think elite archers and single entity flyers need some big buffs or price decreases? Yeah, I think elite range troops are a lot less effective in Domination than they are land battles, but likewise, I think elite, we're getting a, oh, is he saying Dowie? We got the D and the W, Dowie, look at this! Look at this beautiful artwork. Dwarfs, 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 I love it. But I think, likewise, elite infantry fares a lot better in Domination than it does in land battles, you know, so it's kind of a give and take on both. So I really feel that, I don't know what this is now. Oh, he's put X for it, no! He's claiming he doesn't love the dwarfs. We know Phoenix King. With a name like Phoenix King, we know he loves the dwarfs deep down. I do love this, though. This is very funny. But yeah, so I think there's just going to be some units which are bad in Dom and good in land battles. Like, I think it's going to be the way, I'm afraid. Got your game jersey on? Never underestimate Germany. Oh, no, I think Germany, like, might even be favourites to win it. I'm sure they're very scary, but I honestly, it's just a good atmosphere. I'm watching with my housemates. We're going to chill out, grab some food, and probably have a couple of beers. But wait, let's get into the action. So for the dwarfs, we have a couple of longbeards with a big X here of Rangers, which in Dwarvish is a sign of love. So they've put their sign of love through a load of longbeards, forming the DW, as well as miners with blasting charges. We have Thoric Ironbrow down here. He's coming in with a Rune of Slowness and a Rune of Doom. Interesting enough, I don't know if Thoric is going to be necessarily the best lord in Immortal Empires. I think he's definitely up there, and still a phenomenal lord for them. I really like Grombrindle with the Flash Bomb now. I really do. We've got a double Slayers in the back and double cannon. The Beastmen forces, a bit more of a typical battle formation, let's say. We have a load of Gore Herds making up the predominant amount of the infantry here, including Blackhorn Ravengers. And it's Bestigors galore. It's a bit of a Bestigor rush here. This is a real interesting take. We have Bray Shamans, Razorgore Herds, we have Kazrak the One-Eye, the Chad, we have Ungor Raiders, and we have the Vobagland Broodmother. Interesting name there. Interesting to see how this does. Like, I feel like Chariot spam's a lot better than Bestigor spam, but we'll see. The Bray Shaman's going to be coming in with the Cygor Summon, very nice pick here, and Traderkin, and then we got the Kazrak, the boy. Look at this Chad. I feel like he may have been buffed as well in Immortal Empires, just as a word of warning. Not seen him myself in action, but me and Tisti and Turin were discussing him in a podcast we did on Turin's channel, I think like 2 days ago or so, and Tisti brought up the fact that he'd been improved slightly. So this formation is just is interesting. I mean, it's doing a lot of damage on the initial push here. We are about to see a Cygor summon, so this infantry line definitely wants to mix it up a little bit. And it looks like the Vobagland Broodmother does push through onto the enemy. Ungor Raiders are going to focus down on the miners. Bestigors about to get down and dirty. Looks like Dwarf Warriors and Longbeards are pushing forward. We get a Rune of Doom come in. Miners will hide behind their front line. Perhaps, no, they're just going to eat the axes to the face. Not the best way of doing that there. The Vobagland is pushing in the back alongside Kazrak One-Eye, who is just roaming over the Dowie right now. Razorgore Herds are trying to shut down the cannons. This is a bold play, though. The Razorgores are getting absolutely demolished by the Slayers. Cygor Summon has come in. Ungors honestly might want to float around the flanks and just shut down the cannons themselves with their archer fire. Now, Bestigors are making short work of the front line, carving through miners. Longbeards are holding up a little bit better here. You can see them raising their shields high in the sky, but in comes the Broodmother, and the Broodmother is feeling particularly broody today, and she likes the smell of dwarf, so it looks like a lot of their corpses are getting destroyed in a rather horrible ways. The backline is completely overrun. We have Rangers fleeing in all different directions. The chariots are now beating up Thoric Ironbrow. This has forced the Slayers to get in on the action. They need to be careful because they've now allowed their cannon speed just completely unguarded here. Cygor's doing some lovely work thrown in. Cannons are unleashing hell into the enemy. And it looks like they are missing at the majority of their shots there. Kazrak needs to be a little bit careful here. He doesn't want to tussle with Slayers, and beautiful play here by Phoenix King. He drags the Slayers through a little bit more to try and get a surround, and the Razorgores are rampaging, which is really bad news for them. But yeah, the Beastmen are in a massive dominant situation. They just need to bide their time. Don't throw Kazrak away. Like, there's no need for him to get involved with all these Slayers and stuff just to kill the enemy lord. You have time. Like, kill the rest of his troops, move up the Bestigors to deal with them. And in the back, you can see Gorehers are now shutting down the cannons. There's also some returning Razorgores in the distance. Blackhorn Ravengers are going to continue to fight the Slayers. It is a brutal affair here. And it looks like the Slayers probably will win it, but like, cost-wise, again, it's not a good trade for them at all. Bestigors are continuing to push through here. The Broodmother is continuing to go after Thoric Ironbrow. There's so many Slayers nearby. This just seems like a really bad idea. There are going to be Bestigors moving forward, though, in which case maybe it's less so of an issue. Kazrak is going to be coming in as well for a charge, running over some of the Slayers and moving back around. Probably wants to also jump on top of that cannon because it is doing all kinds of nasty damage to the Broodmother. Looks like Kazrak moved in just to get that apocalyptic vision going down on this unit. And yeah, once again, a load of the units are being forced off by the chariot play. Razor Gauls as well as Gore Herds have circumvented the Miner and Longbeard blockade and will be shutting down that other cannon. And it looks like Thoric Ironbrow is terrified. The coward! His ancestors are looking down on him ashamed, and perhaps knowing this, it's only a small, let's say, redeployment rather than retreat from him, and he comes back into the action. Kazrak One Eye is trying his best. He does take off the head of quite a few Slayers there, and is simply going to move back behind the Bestigor herds. A rather smart idea. Broodmother's done a good job so far, just being an absolute wrecking ball. She came in like a wrecking ball and destroyed a load of Dowie. That's how the song goes, I'm pretty sure. Cannon has shut down, army losses kicks in, and maybe, I don't know, maybe the opening deployment here of Phoenix King wasn't the best utility here. And it seems like the Broodmother is able to finish off the majority of the remaining troops. Bestigors will carve apart the Slayers, who are, yeah, down to just a couple of models each. And it shall be a victory for the Beastmen. Yeah, the Clank is so cool. Oh, this is like such a small thing, which like isn't important at all, but I love it. When Norska capture an objective in Domination, you hear the howling of wolves. It is really cool. It's really awesome. I love like little features like that. Mm-hmm. Yes, dwarfs. Why are people talking about the World Wars? I've just like scrolled up and I see people like arguing over World War 1 and 2. Purely the solely high elf would have surprised me. Beasties, it's not that hard. Dwarfs totally require skill, still almost won. You tried a good effort, Phoenix King. You tried a good effort. I think that one was a little bit overwhelming. Of course, I love the starting formation. It was so cool because you had like the dwarf banner, or like the dwarf symbol, and I was like, oh look, he's shown his love, and then you put the X through it. I was like, no, Phoenix King, bad Phoenix King. Well played though, champ. You did good after the initial kind of madness. But yeah, like, the Cygor summons, Kazrak being so healthy, the Broodmother being so healthy, it was a little bit rough towards the end, for sure. Did anything do, like, outstanding value-wise? 1,000, Kazrak's not terrible. Vestigors did okay. Just about paying for themselves, or like close to. 1.3k on the Broodmother was a big difference here. The cannon's 1.2k and 800 value, left a little bit naked there. I think that someone mentioned something about Slanesh enjoying naked cannons, and they certainly did there indeed. It's like, yeah, the infantry just kind of got run over, unfortunately. Thoric only 875 value here as well. He can be pretty decent up against the Beastmen, but he does lack a bit of punch as well to duel back. Yeah, they do like a wolf howl to capture. It's really cool. It's really cool. Did you get hands on the new RORs? No, I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. When I do, I will be sure to make some videos on them and bring you my favourite ones and not. For sure. The race is very limited. Which one are we talking about? I'll try to go back and see what you guys are talking about. I think you're talking about high elves by the looks of it. High elves can still be pretty decent. But like, I feel like high elves in competitive play are pretty, like, I don't know. I don't want to say boring, but you either have to kite or you have to go single entities, or you do both. That's kind of how you have to play them, which sucks a little bit. It's fun to start with, but we've just seen so much of it. We'll do one more game to close out the stream here, guys, so it's a good time to get your questions in now. And we'll do one more game here between the Phoenix King and the mighty Sir Tarquin, who is the man, the myth, the legend who designed my channel logo, which is really freaking cool. He also designed Logic's channel logo. If you've got any, like, Warhammer art you want him to do, make sure you hit him up. Since you, Tyrion, and Antisti agreed elves were mid-tier? We agreed they're mid-tier in Domination. We haven't, I think we may in the future do another podcast speak about land battles. I think High Elves have had a significant buff. With the change to Martial Prowess, I think it's actually like a much bigger change than people think. So I think they're going to be quite a bit better than their current state. Is Gelt good in Immortal Empire's multiplayer? From what I've seen, yeah, I mean, he kind of lines up okay against all the demon factions. I think the problem with Gelt, this is a problem with a lot of lords, he's not bad, but he just has better options. Like, Volkmar the Grim is so good in, like, 90% of matchup. Franz is great in a couple as well, so it's tough to fit Gelt in. He's definitely bringable, though. He's not, like, bad or anything like that. A fast, almost unsnipeable caster is always going to be good, in some degree or another. There's some things I think High Elves do better than Dark Elves and Wood Elves. Single entities, for example. Like flying single entity healing goon squads are really disgusting. Cool, so we'll do one more game. And then we'll do last like round of Q&As to close it out. So get your cute questions and stuff ready. High Elves won't do that good, says HGM. Cav is bland. The archers are really low AP value. They won't do good. You will see. Okay. I mean, I think High Elves are probably a lot better maybe than you're giving them credit for right now, but okay. I think they're doing fine. Like, Tzeentch, you've gained, like, one of the best matchups in the game, like, instantly off the rip against the new factions. Khorne can suffer from good kite play, which is something High Elves can do rather nicely. Kislev and Cathay is going to be a weird one. I don't know how that's going to line up yet. I've not tested those matchups, I don't believe. Slaanesh is going to be fine. You can just box build against them with a bucket ton of cheap archers and spears. And same with Nurgle. So I honestly think High Elves are trade probably better than most coming in against the new factions. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Again, a lot of this is speculation. Daryl, once again, man, thank you so much, dude, for the 20 there. Have a beer at the match on me. Can't wait to see some of the new content you create at your new job. Good luck, brother. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you so much. I've honestly really enjoyed coming back to streaming. So annoyingly, I had, like, surgery, like, just on the release of Warhammer 3, and it's still recovering now. I have, like, a donut chair. I'm allowed to sit down on it for, like, a couple of hours at a time, but it's really made streaming, like, harder, but I will be getting back to it just more and more. There'll probably be a stream again this coming weekend, I would think. We have a lovely little High Elf symbol here. We have Sisters of Avalon. Oh my god, there's like an infinite amount of sisters. 1, 2, 3, 4 Sisters of Avalon. A load of archers. We have a Handmaiden of the Everqueen. A Mage of Life with Earthblood and Regrowth. And then we have a Prince. Ah, it's not Imric, boo, but this build's wild. But then we have a Prince. On a dragon, we'll call him Alfarian, coming in with the blades here, plus 24 melee attack and armor piercing. The Bane shield, I mean, this is something. I feel like it's just going to get run over by infantry. Maybe the dragon just kills all the infantry. I don't know, it's a wild build, I love it. Phoenix King, of course, is a member of Extreme Meme Team, so you expect to see him some pretty awesome stuff. So we have Goblin Wolf Riders, 1, 2, 3, 4 along the front. We then have a load of Night Goblins in the secondary battle line, backed up by Nasty Skulkers, Savage Orc Biggins. This is just a big rush build. Savage Orc Boar Boys on the right-hand side. The Cav is a godsend here, up against a build like his opponents. Oh, Sushi! So we've got the Black Orc Big Boss. I say Sushi, we should say Sir Tarquin. Unless maybe his wife is playing and Sir Tarquin's doing the commenting, I'm not sure, but... we have a Goblin Great Shaman, who is my favourite of the Goblin Lords on this mount. He has to specifically be on the wolf, but he has Curse of the Bad Moon. Oh my god. So, Itchy Nuisance, if we can overcast Curse of the Bad Moon on this... I switched out the formation down, but if he gets like a big formation blob and Curse of the Bad Moon, it's going to be hilarious. Now, the Skirmish Cav for the Greenskins is basically useless here. What you want to do with it is get it behind the enemy and then just go into melee combat once the actual engagements start, I think. Oh, sorry, when I say donut chair, it's like a donut pillow storm. So it's like an orthopedic, I want to say it's called. Yeah, orthopedic, like a donut cushion is what it's called, I believe. Something weird like that. Oh my god, these sisters are gold chevron. They've got decent melee stats here, like no joke. 60 melee defense on the sisters. Jesus. That is going to be nuts. That's going to be crazy. So the Wolf Riders do pop forward, but... they don't want to trade shots. I feel like they're just going to get wasted here. So, like, they're going to have to really be using combat mode. I don't know, guys. Do you think this crazy High Elf build can work? I think it's got teeth. Like, the sisters' stats are good. 47 melee attack, 60 melee defense. Better than, like, the Savage Orcs. So, the Skirmish Cav is getting wasted early on. Which is, I think they just need to be a bit more patient and, like, wrap... oh, there's... too far to the white line, really, for them to actually, like, whip all the way around, I suppose. Now they're going to start opening up in the front line. Savage Orcs are being focused down hard. And the reason you want to focus them down is because they're trade, good against the sisters in combat still, like relatively solid, because they've got good melee attack. The Night Goblins will be less of a problem once they're actually engaged there. The Dragon's flying high in the sky. The cavalry is moving in. You can see the Dragons floating out to the side in an attempt to deal with it. And the Goblin Great Shaman needs to be careful, though. The Prince is lurking, and the Prince is swooping down on the Goblin Great Shaman, who uses cunning and skill to dodge the dragon attacks, and then gets trapped and ensnared by the lovely ladies. The boars do come in the nick of time. Look how much damage that one hit did. That Goblin Great Shaman is rocking right now. He is going to come with a big, fat, itchy nuisance, though. He needs to stay alive. Elsewhere, the cavalry has hit the sisters. We've got nasty skulkers moving in, and all of a sudden it looks really bad for the High Elves there. Now, the leader going down would be a terrible situation. I need to see a Curse of the Bad Moon go down. It's on my wish list here today on this stream, and the Night Goblins move forward with the Savage Orcs, looking to pin in the Prince. Big fat war going in, nice and juicy. The sisters are getting ripped and torn to shreds. Looks like the Night Goblins are shanking the sisters in the pancreas, which isn't what they enjoy. And the Prince is retreating. Regrowth goes down on him, but the High Elves are getting run over right now. Goblin Wolf Riders can move in. Looks like a large amount of the range force has been dealt with. It is just the lone Prince left standing. Even the mage is running to try and save their own skin. And it was an interesting build for sure from the High Elves. Afraid it hasn't really paid off here too much. Big breath attack comes in, but actually is a bit of a wet noodle breath attack. Kind of got caught between 3 units rather than hitting one. Now, the Night Goblin Shaman needs to yeet out of here. That Prince is coming for his bouquet, and he just needs to retreat through the Orcs. And that's just what he's doing. Look at this beautiful play right now. So pull through the infantry. Dragon has other ideas, and he likewise is going to pull through the infantry. We are about to get an itchy nuisance go down on the Prince. He's got Foe Seeker to try to get him out of danger, and the Goblin Great Shaman survives. I mean, I don't want to say the Goblin Great Shaman is winning the duel against the dragon, but he kind of is. As a general, he is out-generaling the Animal Dragon, and he is alive. Now, the Prince is trying to escape. I think at this point, the Prince is just looking to kill that Shaman. Like, he's got nothing else to live for. He just wants to kill it. There are some Sister Avalon fighting in the backburn here. They're about to be feasted upon by many a mighty wolf. And the Handmaiden is also being forced back. Unfortunately for the little Goblin Great Shaman, he is wavering here, but he's just about holding his own. Star Dragon is retreating for some reason now. I think this is basically a game over. Might be staying up for a breath attack. Oh, there we go. And the breath attack does 3 kills. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kills with that breath attack, which bit limp noodle, I'm afraid. Looks like we're going to get a banishment. No, Curse of the Bad Moon comes down on his own units, praising Gork and Mork, Sir Tarquin, emboldening the men with images of destruction and power that Gork and Mork can bring. That is going to be a dominant victory there for the Green Boys. Very well played, Sir Tarquin, as well as the Phoenix King. His name's put me off so much. Every time I look at him, I'm like, who is this again? Beautiful play of both these players. We may actually have time for one more. We'll probably do one of the last replays here. We probably have time for one more replay, but we'll do some Q&As before then. High Elves chose suicide this day, said Loopy. Never a good option for anyone. And yeah, the High Elves did not do great. Quack, quack! Yeah, if you go back Blackthorn, you can catch the announcement in its entirety. I basically explained the full situation, but in short terms, just for those, I guess, who have joined late, I have left my old job. So I left my part-time job, and I've now been hired for a full-time job. Hopefully, because I mean, I'm technically on, like, you know, the first 6 months, like, probation, technically, but, you know, whatever. I've been hired for the job. So I've been hired for a job making videos and doing live streams for a video game publisher in the UK, and it's going to be full-time, which what it means for the channel is I'm going to learn a load of new skills and editing and stuff, so I'll be able to make better quality videos for the channel, but there will be less content because I won't have enough time. I'll basically be making all my content on weekends and evenings, so my current plan is Friday evenings and Saturdays is when I'll make my content. Sunday's a rest day. And that means I'll probably be dropping 4 to 5 videos a week to start with, rather than 7. That's the plan. There'll be less live streams and stuff as well. But, you know, it'll be cool. So this channel's still going. It will just go under a bit of a change. And it also means I'm a lot more free now to make, because I'm not relying on any income from YouTube, really, then I can make whatever content I want. So if I want to take an entire week to make a really good in-depth guide video, I can now do that, you know? Which is cool. Let's have a look here. So the Prince, 958 value. Yeah, nothing. I don't think anything got value. No. They got value in our hearts. Phoenix King got value in our hearts. Goblin Great Shaman MVP, mainly for that Curse of the Bad Mood in the end. I appreciate it so much. 13 value on him. And it was just spread damage. 1,000 value on this unit, though. Savage Rot Biggin's doing good. Nasty Skulker's doing good as well, with just shy of 800 value. 1.3k, 700, 1.7k just about, 1.3k on the cavalry. Yeah, Wolf Rise got shut down pretty quickly, but the rest was really cool stuff there. Really cool stuff. So now, guys, is the time for some Q&As. Yeah, good news is now I can actually stream on weekends, which is when most people are free. So that's good as well. That's like a big boom. So I think what we're going to do is this replay in a bit. But we'll do some Q&As. If you guys have any questions about Immortal Empires, feel free to shoot them to me now. We did a load at the start of the stream, but we can do a few more now. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. Blackthorn says, sounds awesome. Congratulations. I still take whatever bread you toss. Yeah, I didn't want to like alarm people. That's why I want to do this as like a live stream rather than a video of like, hey, I'm not going to be doing as much content, and people kind of freak out. I still completely plan to keep the channel going. It will just be in kind of like less amount of videos, basically. But better quality stuff. If you want to see my reasonings why and whatever, you can go back and check out... I did like a big explanation about it for like 10 minutes. I think between game 1 and 2 is when we kind of broke down and spoke about it. I will probably clip that and put it into a video as well. Most likely. Also, I saw someone ask a question. Let me go back. Yes, someone asked, hello Rubberduck, will you continue with how to win at Total War when Immortal Empire starts? So that was this is kind of what I'm talking about. So that series was something I was really happy with, and I was really enjoyed making that type of content. It didn't get like many views, right? So because I was reliant on those videos doing like certain good, I just couldn't carry on with the series. But now I can. Like if I want to go back and do it, I certainly will. And I may well continue like a how to win at Total War Warhammer series with Immortal Empires. When that kicks off, I'm looking to get back into doing some guides and stuff. People seem to have enjoyed the unit testing I've been doing recently as well. So I've got, I think, Blades of the Blood Queen versus Hellforged Host already recorded. So that will come out at some point as well. And I'll do some more. Knighthood says, oh, you played too much Bannerlord? Oh man, so Bannerlord's something I wanted to get into. I wanted to make content on it. I saw there's a load of mods where you can start as like a lowly like mercenary and build your way up to a lord. And the reward as a lord was to like get a piece of land. So I wanted to play a Last Kingdom version where I start as Uhtred, and my goal is to work my way up in like the army. I'm powerful enough to become a lord and get Bebbanburg. That was the idea, which would be amazing. Which, for those who don't know, is basically following a set of books or TV series and like his goal through Viking England. I don't know if there's a mod for that. I'm so tempted to do it, man. But I've also bought Darkest Dungeon on Switch at the moment, which I'm playing a bit. I may stream that on from time to time as well. Darkest Dungeon is really fun. It's really fun. Let's go back. Look, did Swords of Chaos get any buffs aside of size? I don't think so, Blackthorn. I'm not 100% sure. Shoot me a message in the DBD chat later today. I'm going to go watch the football in about half an hour, but a couple of hours after, shoot me a message. I'll log on and have a look for you. I don't think so. What do you miss from Warhammer 2, if anything? Well, if you're talking about from Immortal Empires... Because from Warhammer 3, obviously, like, the base game is I miss all the factions and the variety and so on. In Immortal Empires, I'm a little, like, glossy-eyed right now because it's so fresh and new to me. So at the moment, I'm like, I just prefer it so much more Immortal Empires. There's just more variety. The maps all have, like, way better lighting. The UI is better, and I'm enjoying it so much that it's hard to think of the negatives. There definitely will be some, like, for sure. But I'm just having too much fun to kind of think about, I guess, those sides. But anything that I've missed. I guess some of the maps which just haven't made it over to Warhammer 3 yet. But we know they're kind of going to be coming and stuff, so at the moment, not too much. I mean, Immortal Empires really does kind of feel like Warhammer 2 multiplayer with better looking maps, more factions, and a better UI. There's like nothing too crazy about it, and also another game mode, obviously. But yeah, Loopy, you sent a few ODM replays. Awesome. I may actually cast them next week because I've cast, I think I've got 2 games against Indie Pride coming out, but after that, I'm out of replays, I think, of Immortal Empire stuff, so I might better play some more today, hopefully, with Samurai Warrior, then I'll happily make them tomorrow, but if I run out, I'll definitely give them a cast. So if I miss questions, by the way, there's a lot of chat stuff going on. HGM asks, are Exalted OP infantry demons getting a price increase or nerf? The way the trash Chosen is just sick. Chosen, I think, are actually kind of like fine. Maybe a slightly bit too overpriced still, but they're okay. I think Exalted Demonettes, particularly Regiment Renowned, and the Hellforged Host are both just very powerful. I think there's 2 of the best infantry in the game. I think that in Warhammer 3, and I think that in Immortal Empires. They do have the big weakness of being shot, though. And there's not been that many Chitin factions in Warhammer 3 at all. We'll have to see how that balances them, because I think they may struggle a bit more now in a few matchups. Yeah, the demons are a little bit scary for sure. I think Bellicor's, I don't want to say too powerful to play in my player, but he is very, very good. So he needs a slight nerf or a points increase. Or a points increase. Do I think Furies and Spawn need a 100 to 200 price increase across the board? They're so oppressively good. I will have to give my opinion on that once I've seen against more of the factions. I think they're very good against the current Warhammer 3 faction. Furies will not be as good against many others. I think slight points increase to Furies is absolutely fine. Spawn I'm not sold on yet. I don't think all the old maps are back loopy, and some of the old maps are new. Like, it will say the same thing, but the map will actually be slightly different. So I think they've reworked maps. The lighting is so good, guys. Like, the lighting has been improved on so many maps. And some maps have, like, now gone into winter for some reason, and some into summer, and a switch up like that. Yeah, they all look cool. That's all being cool. I quite like Ultra unit size, I'm not gonna lie, Loopy. I do enjoy it. But I understand it. It's not for everyone. And likewise, I think it will hurt people's PCs a little bit. Al Bronco says test. Test to you, good sir. Test to you. Will the Empire get stat buffs to make them more viable against other factions? I think Empire are probably in a solid position right now, personally. I think they're just like a medium. Like, you know, get a little bit of everything, master of none. HM says Furies will trash hard Empire in Game 2 races. You've got to try it out first, bud, before I think we actually see like how good the Furies are in certain matchups. Yeah, they can shut down a couple of gun units. Empire don't rely just on guns, and Furies will get slapped hard by countercharging cheap cavalry. We'll have to wait and see. Plus, I mean, there are answers to sky units for all of these new factions. You can have heroes in the sky as well. It's something I did against Indie Pride. With a Flying Death caster to pin in like flying units and Spirit Leech them and stuff. What's up, Dr. Jellyfish? And there's so many trees and hills on all the maps. No, they haven't like reworked them just to put trees on. That'd be low-key would have been hilarious. But no. Alas, there is not. When I say reworked, normally it's like I think Alpine Ridge is now like a winter map, for example. Do you think Kugoff is OPAD versus melee factions? Yes. Yes, I do. But I think he's also can be really weak against range factions, so there's a bit of give and take with him. More Daddy content, or you're going in the book. Yeah, I do have more Daddy content coming. You know what? I'll try. I think me and Samurai might play some games later. I'll try some Daddy Domination games and try and make them work, maybe. Tried says, how should CA fix dwarfs in Domination? I think they need some form of mobility, whether that comes in through a DLC and new units, or if it comes in through gameplay mechanics, such as miners being able to dig in a vanguard point on the map as a faction ability, so you can get a little bit closer to the enemy, that kind of stuff. But they need speed, or they need a bit of hold. Are land battles well balanced? I mean, probably that's like, it's tough to say. It's tough to say. There's like 500 and something matchups now, or something ridiculous. So no one's been able to play all the matchups yet. So I think it's impossible for us to say. And it's a good note. When you hear us, like, Immortal Empires, like, early access guys, I'm just going to load up a replay while we get going, by the way. Like, talk about stuff being really good or really bad. Like, we can only give our initial opinion and initial thoughts on stuff. It's impossible for us to have played every matchup. And it's also impossible to have tried every tactic and all sorts. So, oh my god, I've just seen these builds. Let's give that a pause. So, yeah, these are kind of just, like, ideas and stuff right now. Obviously, they're educated ideas because we've played. So, I think land battles are probably as balanced as they are in Warhammer 2. Like, do you think Warhammer 2 land battles are balanced right now? Some would say yes, some would say no. It's going to be the same in Warhammer 3. There's just too many factions right now. Faction ability is the best solution I've heard so far. It'd be cool, man. Like, maybe you have a faction ability which allows you to, yeah, make a vanguard point using miners, like once per battle or something to get closer in Dom. And maybe you have one ability where which recharges where Thunder Barge can be used as a reinforcement, and it moves them closer towards the enemy, I suppose. That's what I think. Yeah, there's an insane amount of matches you can do. Insane amount. Yeah, like, the demons are good in land battles. They're not, like, oppressive or anything like that. So, you know, I think it'd be relatively well balanced. Let's on to this game anyway, because I'm going to bounce in a sec. I am going to drop in a Mortal Empires showdown with one of the best thumbnails you've ever seen in your life just after this. So let's delve into this one. So, for the forces of the Dowie, who is some guy who's against Stormrunner, sorry, I've forgotten his name, we have Bolt Throwers and Double Grudge Thrower. So, 2 Bolt Throwers, Double Grudge Thrower, Slayer to protect. We have Dwarf Warrior Great Weapons, a load of Longbeards in the front. We do have Grombrindle the White Dwarf. We have, does he have? So yeah, he doesn't have his Flash Bomb in this game. Oh, it sucks. He has his Flash Bomb in Warhammer 3, I love it. Iron Drakes and a Master Engineer. The forces of the Empire, we have Outriders Grenade Launchers, we have an Amber Wizard with Manticore Summon and Amber Spear, going to be very good at sniping artillery pieces with the Spear, or shooting down the ranks of the Dowie. More Grenade Launchers to the side, 3 Spearmen, a very thin line of red and white to hold back the enemy there, and then 4 Hellstorm Rocket Batteries, all gold chevrons, with a Huntsman General to buff them up as well. As you can see, he can, yeah, give them extra reload skill and fire damage. And he has his own archery range. Now, the problem with the fire damage is they just don't want to shoot those Iron Drakes, because they'll take no damage. Pretty sure Iron Drakes have, like, insane fire resistance, if I'm not mistaken. Outriders move up under a hail of grudges, and instantly get forced off, it seems. They do basically no damage to the Longbeards. Hellstorm Rocket Batteries are now opening up fire, and they are aiming for the enemy artillery, so it is going to be an artillery duel. And it looks like when they connect, they do good damage to the enemy crews. And, oh no, no, no! 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 That is disgusting. Just 2 units of Longbeards. Cut in half. 70 kills from 1 cast. Oh! Hellstorm Rocket Batteries, welcome to Lustria, boys. Grudge Throw's been forced off. Dwarf player has made the tough decision to push aggressively, abandoning his artillery pieces, perhaps not knowing what waits in the wings, which is the Zintler's Reichsguard, regiment around a Reichsguard who have hidden themselves in the trees. Everything's popping forward. You know what that means, boys. It means these Hellstorm Rocket Batteries should now focus down the Longbeards, allowing the Cav to sneak in, take out the artillery pieces. How much ammunition do they have? They still have a load. Oh my god, okay. Huntsman is popped a hail of fire on them. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah, extra reload skills. So they're unleashing barrage after barrage here. This is just disgusting. The dwarves can't do anything here, surely. It's a very thin line. I mean, once they make it to the front line, they'll shut down those troops quickly. It looks like the Slayers are currently the next units of focus here. which is, I guess, a good choice. They are the quickest units, which could whip around and shut them down, maybe. Outriders have emerged once again, and in come the Zintlers. Lances lowered. The dwarves can only look on in terror at their kind of mistake of abandoning their artillery pieces as the cavalry comes over the hills. The lances lowered, getting ready to charge in. You can see the horses getting ready. They're pumped up. They smell blood. A few of them get tangled up on the grudge throws, which is hilarious. And in they come, taking down the dwarves. A couple of heads went rolling there, and the main army is getting just Thanos snapped up right now. Hellstorm rocket batteries, Slayers are taking quite the fiery pounding. Grenade launchers are opening shots onto the dwarf warriors, and yeah, that's nasty. That's what else to tell you guys. This is nasty right now. It's not looking good. I just see someone say write that down in the book. The book is going to be filled right now after this. Another Amber Spear is going to come down the line and just eviscerate a unit of Longbeards. Are the dwarves even going to make it to the front? Like, they will, but are they going to even get through the spear units? I'm not convinced. I am not convinced. There's a few units there with okay HP, I suppose. You know what? Grombrindle could be really dumb. If Grombrindle kills the Huntsman, can anything in this army kill Grombrindle? Like, grenade launchers aren't going to do it. The cavalry's not going to do it. Hellstorm rockets, they're definitely not going to do it. Grombrindle might be a problem. This sounds really dumb, guys. This battle may not be over yet. I don't know. It looks like Spearmen are finding Longbeards in the front. We do get them. Oh, okay. This is the answer. The Manticore Summon, of course. Manticore Summon is the only answer to Grombrindle. So, lovely play here by Mr. Storm, recognizing that and dragging it in. But no! I take that back. He's just going off on his own, looking to hunt down some flankers. Looks like he wants to hunt down these great weapons and protect his back line, which isn't a bad idea, but Grombrindle kind of slaps up the Huntsman General there, and now Longbeards are pushing through, looking to shut down the enemy artillery. We've got a scrap on our hand once again. Iron Drakes, alongside the Master Engineer, are holding back the Zintlers Reichsguard, at least for now. A Bolt Thrower crew has rallied. Honestly, getting on there could be pretty huge. We have a flash bomb go down on the Zintlers. That's going to nuke their stats significantly. One or two Slayers might be able to peel off and deal with them. Looks like the Ferromanticore is still trying to protect the range rather than going after the Grombeam boy. And the Wizard's alive though, so we do have another Manticore Summon maybe, but that's a lot of Winds of Magic and he's already used up a significant portion. For some reason, Grombrindle is not pushing the Hellstorm rocket batteries. This is a big mistake, I think. He's trying to save his Iron Drakes. I think they're already dead, my friend. So I think pushing the back line is much more important. Was that a rocket to the back of Grombrindle? The level of disrespect to the ancient dwarf warrior is disgusting. Master Engineer is got his ballistics calibrations going, and he's popping Zintlers relatively effectively here. We do have Longbeards in the back line, and they're doing a good job. Looks like the Manticore was shut down, and this is going to be some nice pickings here. Realistically, the artillery crews need to drop and run, but you're leaving all four in one location, so maybe the side ones peel off, the other ones drop and run might be the best idea here. Now, Grombrindle's still going to push, and he's a little spooky. Now, luckily for the Empire, the Huntsman General's rallied, and he's one of the guys you can really drag down Gromby over the long course of a battle. I would like to see a fight between the Master Engineer and the Huntsman personally. Looks like a shot is going up and over, and once again going to connect with the Mighty Dwarf hero. Iron Drakes are popping shots into the Zintlers Reichsguard, who are staggering a little bit, trying to get down to shut down the dwarfs. Master Engineer pops a shot in, but the Lancers are lowered. One of their models did fall, but they are going to overrun the Iron Drakes and shut them down, continuing their charge through into the Longbeards. Should be enough to break both units. They are starting to lose models relatively rapidly. Master Engineer is popping horsemen left, right, and centre. Look at that accuracy. Beautiful stuff. Looks like Gromby has been just focused down by the Huntsman General, and that is a big problem for the dwarfs right now, as they need this guy off the battlefield. Longbeards continue to push alongside dwarf warriors, and it seems like the Hellstorm rocket batteries are retreating in all different directions. Not a good day to be an artillery crewman now. You've done so much damage, but the dwarfs are back with a vengeance. Looks like the Bolt Thrower may indeed actually get back online, which is low-key hilarious. And yeah, if it can wheel up, it can do some good work. There is also 70 dwarf warriors in the distance who chased off and routing units who desperately need to come back here. And oh no, the Amber Wizard! Retreat, my friend, retreat! Grombrindle looked to finish him off. He was able to just about get the hell out of there. Longbeards are fighting like true legends of old, but that Huntsman General is doing the Lord's work. Sigma is pleased at the fact Grombrindle is going to be struggling quite a bit to chew through the chaff quickly, and that's going to be more and more damage being labelled on top. Dwarf Warriors probably want to continue to chase these units, otherwise they're simply going to reposition. There's a load of grenades coming in, though, onto the Dwarf Warriors, doing some pretty gnarly damage. So Grombrindle continues to hold it in the mid. Very close game so far, like, very close stuff. Spearmen can push forward. Bouncefel's relatively dead even. I love the fact this bolt thrower's alive. Though the Spearmen are in a weird position where they can actually challenge this and move back onto the bolt thrower. I'd certainly like to see them do it. The Master Engineer is trying to hold them at bay, at least for now. Grombrindle would have single-handedly won this, I think, but the fact that Huntsman General is alive is a big problem. He's done so much chip damage. I mean, he's mainly been shooting him all day, right? He's up to over 1,000 value, so that's a lot of HP dead from Gromby. Dwarf Warriors do break, which is a sad day for them, considering they just about got involved in the back line fight. Dwarf Warriors, again, Vietnam flashbacks all over again as Outrider grenade launchers pop shots in them. They're remembering the pain of the Hellstorm rocket batteries now. And the Hellstorms are opening up once again onto the bolt thrower, who is being protected, though. We have Longbeards coming in, as well as the Master Engineer, trying to beat back the Spearmen. Got shots going in as well. The Spearmen here probably going to break, actually, due to those bolt thrower shots. And the charge, the brave charge of a few small good troops. The Longbeards coming in here and running over the Spearmen there. Cavalry's going to continue to push forward. Hellstorms are all active once again, though. And this is the problem with Grombrindle right now. The fact that he doesn't have his flash bomb in Warhammer 2 is disastrous. He can't catch the Huntsman. He has no hope there. He's going to be used to finish off the Hellstorm rocket batteries. I think it's all over. Gromby simply can't do with the Huntsman being alive on the battlefield. And even if the Huntsman went down now, he's done like so much damage, the Spearman could probably beat back. I'd say beat off Grombrindle, but it sounds a bit wrong. So beat back Grombrindle is probably the best way of doing it. Right weapons are once again going to receive a charge from the Zintlers. These guys have been everywhere today. 71 kills. Bam. Coming in. I love their gothic look. It looks real badass. And charging in, shutting down the Dwarf Warriors and finishing them off there. And it looks like that is most likely going to be game. Huntsman General is just dogging the footsteps of Gromby, who's not enjoying that. Pistols are starting to break, though, and as are the Spearmen. The bolt thrower is still alive and raining in shots of terror. It is down to just the one bolt thrower, though. They've only got 3 men left here. Big shot comes in. We get a flash bomb go down on the Outriders. And the bolt thrower hold. Reload fire, lads. Reload fire. They've got the bolt in there. Go on, lads. They're right there. They're right there. Oh, looks like they actually broke. Are they even going to fire? Nope, they're going to rotate forward slightly. Okay. Master Engineer's doing okay, and maybe there's a Dwarf Resurgence underfoot here. Longbeards are coming back. But yeah, Grombrindle, this is painful for all you Die fans out there. This is really painful. Like, the Huntsman just kiting him. He's now up to nearly 2,000 value, and he's just been shooting Grombrindle all day. He's, like, single-handedly won them this game. I think the Huntsman, I did hear... I may have missed it. I looked down at chat quickly to make sure everyone was all good, but it looks like Grombrindle has, alas, fallen. A mighty warrior indeed, though. He was an absolute chad today, trying his best, but the Huntsman always gets what he wants. Looks like the Outriders have caught up with the bolt thrower crew. They're going to give them a nice farewell present, and it is now just the Master Engineer, who is dreaming of dreams of the good old glory days of the Dwarfs, where their empire stretched, the many continents, and they were a glorious empire, unmatched by any, apart from the mighty Lizardmen, of course. And alas, since then, they have fallen. They have fallen. And things have gone badly for them. Hope you guys enjoyed that one, though. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. Awesome build coming by Stormrunner, true Chad in general. A wild build, 1.2k value, just shy of 1k value, 1k value, and 750 on the rockets. I honestly think the basic rockets are a bit better here in this situation because it was really about attrition here and grinding down the dwarfs, and they just have more ammo than the Sunmaker. Mainly because the Sunmaker, I believe, fires, like, it might have the same ammo technically, but it fires all its shots quicker. Like, it fires like 3 shots per volley type thing rather than 1 shot, for example. Outriders weren't in a particularly great position here, to be honest, but 1.3k for the Zintlers is very impressive. They were really good all day long, I think. 1.1k on the Amber Wizards, very nice. 2,000 on the Huntsman General. That doesn't seem like much value for the Amber Wizard, but 133 kills really softened up the Dwarfs on the approach. Gromby got 1.3k value, 444 for the Engineer, which is the Dowie sign for help. And yeah, it looks like nothing else is going to have paid for itself. This, long bids actually. 1.9k value, not bad at all. And yeah, it looks pretty good elsewhere. Well, no, it looks pretty bad elsewhere, I should say. All the other units kind of suffered there a little bit. Wrap it up. Any tips you've learned for someone looking to get into posting Total War YouTube content as a hobby? Yes, Sir Tarquin. Yes! My boy! You're looking to do it. Right, well, let me know, for one, when you do start up. We can maybe do some, like, streams together or something, just to try and get your name out there a little bit. My main advice would be... Sorry, I've seen Gojira. Yeah, basically, I've got a full-time job that I'm starting on Tuesday, so the amount of content I release is going to drop down a little bit, but the new job I've got is in... I'm literally streaming and creating videos for video games for a video game producer, so I'm basically doing what I do on my channel, but just for a, like another company. So my quality of videos, though there'll be less, should improve because I'm going to learn a lot more about editing and that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's basically the idea. My main advice for starting up on YouTube is the best way to do stuff is you don't have to drop content every day, but what you want to do is drop consistently good quality. That's it. That's as simple as it is. Think of an idea you enjoy or content you enjoy. Other people will probably enjoy it if you enjoy it. And don't get disheartened. It's such a grind to start with. You'll get like 10 views maybe on your first couple of videos or something, but it will grow. It'll take time, but it will definitely grow. Reach out to the Total War community. Do tournaments. Do King of the Hills. Do stuff that... one, it feels so good anyway to like put on competition stuff for people, and you know, people are happy to watch them and stuff. It's really nice. But if you give something to them, they'll also come over and watch you. But yeah, just make sure your videos are good quality and make sure they're consistent and then consistently good. You don't have to go clickbait. You don't have to have the greatest video of all time, quality-wise. As long as you put out good, enjoyable stuff at a consistent basis, people will enjoy it. People will enjoy it. When I get my PC next month, I hope to be doing ladder karaoke streams. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. Cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in and coming back to like a bit of a return stream here. I will be looking to stream a bit more now because I can actually sit down for like a couple of hours. I'm starting to feel it a little bit now. We've been streaming for about 2 hours. But yeah, the new cushion, the fact the wound has healed like a ton, and it's nearly like close to... So annoying. Like, I don't know when it's going to be fully healed. It's one of those like real slow healing wounds because it's hidden from the inside out. But it's getting like super close now, which is nice. So hopefully I'll be back to like normal sitting down within like a month or two. And we can do like long streams. Because I still need to do my 10,000 subscriber special. Alas, I haven't been able to do it for those reasons. And now we're over 11,000, so we will do a big stream coming up when I'm able to sit down for that kind of long duration. Until next time, guys. Oh, Phoenix King, actually, you say don't cast Dwarf games. Dwarf games actually do really well. They've kind of got like a diehard fan base. So I actually, Dwarf videos tend to be my best doing videos. High Elves are quite good as well. But it goes through different twins and roundabouts and stuff. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. For those who missed like the announcement and stuff, I'll probably clip it and put it in as a video. Oh, before you guys leave, I'm an idiot. Before I go, I'm going to send you guys to a video. I'm about to post a Immortal Empires game between me and Indie Pride, and the thumbnail is a work of art. It is a work of art. It's a picture I found from a couple of years ago someone did about lizardmen. I'm gonna make it go public now. Title is called Is Lord Croak a Little Bit Too Good? You'll have to click the video to find out. And let me get the link. Bam. Yeah. There we go. Bam. I'm going to pop it twice because it's just that good. Link to awesome content. There we go. So that's a link to a really awesome War Empires game between the Lizardmen and Demons. That's it for me, guys. Until next time, peace. And as always, stay awesome.